Let's begin.
For this tutorial, I'd like to show you guys some tricks with snares, and the first one is how to find the key of your snare. There are many ways to do this, but for me the most reliable has been to use Pro Q. And we're going to create a bell curve with a high Q, and we're going to turn on this button. This will tell us the note that corresponds with the frequency that we're adjusting. So as we play the snare, we look for the frequency where it truly resonates. In this case, it's F sharp. And that's how we know the snare is F sharp. The next trick that I'd like to show you is how you can gate your snare. Here, I've made a simple demo project with a very dry snare. I've added a return channel with a long reverb of almost 4 seconds. Now, we're going to send the snare to the return channel. Now it sounds very big, which we want, but if you take a listen, the reverb decay is extending way too long. And so if we add a gate after the reverb, we can clean it up significantly. Another way that you can make your snare sound more powerful is by adding a layer of noise. Now, here's what it sounds like by itself. And if we add the gate with a sidechain from the snare, it's going to follow the decay of our snare and match it. We can add a little reverb and another gate after the pink noise. By adding the noise, you just widen the amount of frequencies that your snare is hitting. Makes it sound a little more powerful while retaining the original character of your snare. Now here it was before. And here it is after. Next, snare rolls. Oftentimes I find if I use too many different samples in a snare roll, it can sound disjointed. So one trick that I use is by using the same sample in 3 different slots. Now, 2 and 3 are being panned slightly to the left and slightly to the right. And they also have a sort of arbitrary random EQ that's being put on them that just differentiates them a little bit. And it gives the feel that a player is really hitting the drum on different areas of the drum and sounds less repetitive than just hearing the same sample. Now next, I've added reverb. It's being processed on a separate channel, and that's equivalent to if you were to use a reverb on a return channel. Now here we have the reverb with a relatively short decay, and we have a utility. And what the utility is doing is volume automation. As you can see here, it's doing a steep curve as we head toward the 3rd bar, and then gradually lifting as we head towards the 5th. And notice how that creates tension. The other thing that's going on is a compressor. This compressor is happening after the reverb, and it's actually getting a sidechain from the original dry sound. And what that does is it compresses the reverb out of the way of your snare, so the reverb is ducking whenever the snare hits and lifting whenever the snare has a space. So listen to it without it and with it. It's just ducking and pumping a little bit in a rhythmic way, opposite to the snare.